Full seated position. So this afternoon is the full moon in Pisces. So it's actually at 3:22 this afternoon. So let's breathe in the energy of the full moon. Trying to let go of all the busyness from this morning, all the things that you've been doing. As you're breathing in the energy of the full moon, breathing out all that doesn't serve you. Taking some nice deep breaths, tuning into the energy of your room, noticing the earth beneath you, supporting you in your practice. Your intention for today may be something around letting go. When you look at all that might be weighing you down, there might be something there that you could let go of. So full moon's a great time to do that. It's also a good time to celebrate what you've achieved in 2020. For our yoga practice today, we're going to have a yoga flow and then a yoga nidra, nice and relaxing. And remember, in our yoga flow today, at any time, you can always rest in child's pose and listen to your body. Just be conscious about it during your practice. Just settling in, checking into your body, noticing how it's feeling, exhaling into any tight parts or any part that maybe is a little bit of pain here or there. Just taking a big deep breath and let go of any of the pain, any of the tension. And notice how your mind is. Acknowledging any busy thoughts and let them go. The next hours for your practice. Thank you for being here today, supporting each other in our yoga practice, raising all of our vibrations. We're going to open the practice with an Om, so you can join me if you wish, but you don't have to. We're going to take a big breath in and let go. Another deep breath in, hands to Anjali Mudra. Om. Let's come to a position on all fours. As we inhale, lifting our chest into our first lot of cat-cows, just getting our body moving. Inhaling as you lift your chest, raising your gaze, and exhaling as you lift your spine up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze through your legs towards your feet, getting some movement into your spine. Just tuning into your breath, moving as the breath initiates the flow. And then taking your knees a little wider and your feet together, bringing your buttocks down to your heels. Into child's pose. Taking about 5 breaths here, and on each breath, surrender a little more into the pose. And notice as you feel a little bit of stretching in the back of your buttocks and lower back, and a little bit of shoulders. Notice the ground beneath you, supporting you on your hands and your forearms, your shins and your feet. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then coming up to a position of standing on your knees, or you can sit in a comfortable seated position if that's not comfortable for you. We're going to inhale, lifting our arms, and we're going to exhale to one side, feeling that nice stretch down your side of your body, and then inhale to the center and exhale to the other side, just flowing through from one side to the next, moving with your breath. Just noticing how that feels down through the side of your body and through your hips. Nice. And then from there, we're going to go into a child's pose. So we're going to inhale, lift all the way up, and then exhale into child's pose. And then bringing our hands forward and lifting our chest into an up dog. And then exhaling back to child's pose. Continuing on for another 5 rounds. Just getting a little more movement into your spine, feeling that through your upper back and your lower back. Just going nice and slow, inhaling as you come into upward dog and exhaling, coming into downward dog. That's it. We'll go 3 more rounds. And then coming into a neutral position again. And from here, we're going to open up our hands, pressing against the earth and raising our hips up into our first downward dog. Taking about 5 breaths here, just walking our heels down towards the mat, stretching out the back of our legs. Just notice how your body's feeling in this position. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to go into a series of upward dogs and downward dogs. When you do the upward dog, you can come to your knees and take your hands a little forward if you wish. Or you can just go with your knees off the ground. So whatever works for you. So inhale as you go into your upward dog and exhale into your downward dog. Let's do 5 rounds, just feeling a nice stretch through the shoulders, through the lower back and through the legs. Letting your breath initiate the movement. And we do 1 more. And then coming back to all fours. Just taking a few breaths. Having your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. From here, we're going to do some alternative arm and leg raises. Keeping our back nice and flat. Going to inhale. Let's lift our left leg and our right hand and elongate. And then exhale, bring the elbow and the knee together into a tiger curl, keeping the body nice and flat. Let's continue on here for another 4 rounds. Really lengthening through the hand and the foot and having your toes pointing down towards your mat. And then landing your knee and your foot back down to the mat. Just take a couple of breaths, move your body around a little bit, just loosening up a little more. And then we'll go to the other side. So lifting right leg, left hand. So inhale and lifting, lengthening through the foot and the hand, with the toes pointing towards the mat. And exhale as you bring your knee to your elbow. That's it, really squeezing through the buttock as you lengthen. Let's go 2 more rounds, keeping your back nice and flat. And then bring your knees back down to the mat. From here, we're going to lift up our left leg and lengthen and bend our left knee, taking the foot over to the right side of the mat. Using our right hand, we're going to reach back to the foot and just lengthen, stretching out through the front of the thigh. That's it. Nice, Julianne. Okay, and release. Coming back down to all fours again. And this time we're going to lift up our right leg and lengthen. And then bend the right knee and take the foot over to the left side and reach back with the left hand. And then lengthen. Get a nice stretch through the front of the body and through the front of the right thigh. And release that back to the ground. Coming back to child's pose, just settling in our breath down for a couple of breaths here. Just surrendering back to the earth again. Coming back to your intention of your practice around letting go of what doesn't serve you. Using the energy of the full moon. Take a couple more breaths here. And then coming up into downward dog, stretching out your legs. And then taking your eyes forward towards your hands and step or jump forward into a forward fold. Let your chest fall heavy and your head fall heavy. Stretching a little bit more through the back of the legs and the lower back. For 3 more breaths. And then as you inhale, coming back up to standing and hands back to Anjali Mudra. Just softening your eyes here, taking a couple of breaths, noticing the ground underneath your feet. Okay, and we're going to go into a series of sun salutes. We'll take it through 4 times. So coming to the front of your mat, inhale, lift your arms, lift your gaze, and exhale, folding forward. Then inhale, lift and lengthen through your spine, and exhale, stepping back into either a high plank or a low plank, and then slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, lifting through the chest, raising your gaze, and exhale, tucking your toes under and coming into downward dog. Taking your gaze forward and then step or jump back up to your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, hug your chest towards your legs. And then inhale, come back to standing. Nice. So that's 1 round. We'll do 3 more rounds. You can continue on at your own pace or you can come with me, just listening to your breath. So inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, stepping back into high plank or low plank. Then slowly lowering the body down to the mat, bending at the elbows. Inhale, lift
the chest into an upward dog, and exhale, tucking the toes under into downward dog. And taking the gaze forward and step or jump. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, and exhale, bringing your chest towards your legs, feeling that nice stretch down the back of the legs and through the back. Inhale, coming back up. Nice work. We've got 2 more rounds to go. Inhaling, lift and lengthen. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, stepping back into plank, and then slowly lowering the body down. Inhale, lift up into upward dog, and then tucking the toes under into downward dog. Raising your gaze to your hands and step forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, tuck your chest into your legs. Inhale, coming back to center. Nice. 1 more round. This time, do it with your own cues. You know what to do. Nice. And then stepping back towards the back of the mat, we're going to do a warrior sequence next. Just taking a couple of deep breaths. And we're going to turn our left foot out slightly and step forward with the right. From here, we're going to have our hips and our shoulders both facing forward. We're going to inhale, lift our arms and bend our right knee. So the right knee comes over the top of the right ankle. That's it. Taking 3 breaths here and noticing the stretch through your left hip. And then taking the left hand back, right hand forward, taking your gaze to the right hand into Warrior 2. And then taking the right hand up towards the sky with your gaze, left hand towards the back of the left leg. Nice and steady on your feet. 2 more breaths here, just feeling that stretch through the left hip. And then coming back. This time we're going to go into Humble Warrior. So we're going to clasp our hands behind our back, lift our chest, and then exhale, we're going to fold forward and lengthen out the right leg. So we've got a fairly straight right leg. That's it. So feeling the stretch through the back of the right leg and through the shoulders. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then releasing your hands to the ground, having your hands just inside the right foot. And we're going to inhale, lift the left hand to the sky, coming into triangle pose. Taking 3 breaths here. And then release the left hand to the ground, and we'll go to the other side. So taking the right hand up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze with it, and notice a stretch on the outside of the right leg. And 3 breaths here. And then releasing the right hand to the mat. Inhale, lift up, back to standing, and then we'll come back with our feet together. Just give your legs a little shake. And we're going to go to the other side. So this time taking your right foot out slightly and stepping forward with the left leg. Inhale, bending through that left leg, lifting your arms up towards the ceiling, lifting your gaze, and noticing that stretch through the right hip, having your hips and shoulders facing forward. Let's have 2 more breaths here. And then take the left hand forward, the right hand back. Feeling that stretch through the chest, nice bend through the front knee. And then we're going to inhale, lift the left hand and take the right hand to the back of the right leg. Feeling that stretch through the front of the body. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then bringing your hand back down, clasping them behind you into humble warrior. So we're going to exhale, folding forwards, lifting our hands up off our back, lengthening through the left leg. Just taking 3 breaths here and noticing the stretch through the shoulders and through the back of the left leg. And then release your hands to the ground. We're going to lift our right hand up towards the ceiling, take our gaze with it into a triangle pose for 3 breaths. And then release the right hand to the mat. And we'll take our left hand up to towards the sky, take our gaze with it into a twisted triangle, and noticing the stretch through the left leg. 3 breaths here. And then releasing the left hand to ground. Inhale, coming all the way up, and give your legs a little shake. Let's go now side onto the mat. So feet nice and wide, our toes pointing forward parallel, as wide as you can comfortably do. We're going to inhale, bring our arms up, and exhale, we're going to fold forward, bring our hands down to the mat. Take your feet a little wider if you can, and we're going to stay here for 5 breaths in this inversion and noticing the stretch through the back of the legs and a bit of lower back. Your crown of your head pointing down towards the mat. And then on next inhalation, bring your hands back up into Anjali Mudra and walking your feet back together. From here, we're going to do a little balancing. So coming towards the back of your mat this time. And we're going to open up our feet on the mat so that we can really feel grounded and balanced. Doing some little circles. Just noticing the 3 points underneath your feet, the ankle points behind your little toe, your big toe and your heel. And from here we're going to lift up the left leg and bring it across the front of the right. You can pull it up a little if you like. And getting your balance there. And from here we're going to bend the right knee a little bit and then take our chest forward. So lifting our chest and then just taking it gently forward to feel the stretch through the left side of the buttocks. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Feel free to hold on to a wall or balustrade, whatever you have there. Find a gaze point to help you with your balance. And then inhale, release, give your feet a little shake. And then we'll take it to the other side. So getting the left foot nicely grounded. Going in a little circle, just feeling those 3 trigger points on the left side. And then lifting up the right foot, bending it across the front of the left leg. Now if you need to hold on, you can. Getting yourself nice and steady, finding your gaze point. And then bending the left leg a little and folding forward. So chest up tall and then just taking it forward, just till you feel that stretching in the right glute. Staying here for 3 breaths, trying to keep your balance nice and steady. Noticing all the little stabilizers in your ankles and your feet. 1 more breath. And then release. Give that little shake. And then we're going to come into an aeroplane pose. So we're going to step forward with our right leg. Inhale, lift our hands, and exhale, fold forward, bring our hands down to the mat and lifting the weight off the left foot, bringing the left foot up into the air. A little bend, little softening in your right knee. And from here, find your gaze point just in front of the top of the mat. And when you're ready, when you feel balanced through that right foot, bringing your hands up in the air into aeroplane. If you need to, you can drop that left toe. It's getting nice and steady for 3 breaths. And then gently bring the left foot back down to the mat. Give that a little shake and we'll go to the other side. So this time we're going to step forward with the left leg. You might find you've got better balance on one side than the other. Inhale, lift your hands up. And exhale, we're going to fold forward and bring our fingertips down to the mat. And take the weight off the right leg and bring the right foot up into the air. Getting steady there. And then a little bend in the, little softening in the left leg. Finding your gaze point and then take your hands up for 3 breaths here. Feel free to put your toe down if you need to. Just play with it. And then release back down to the mat. Nice work, ladies. Okay, let's come down to the mat, onto our backs and hug our knees up to our chest in Apanasana. Just give them a nice roll through, just loosening off your lower back. And then coming up to a seated position, seated on your knees. And from here, we're going to go into a camel pose. So with a camel pose, we're opening up through the front of our body. So I want you to bring your hands to your lower back and your chest is facing up towards the ceiling. So you can stay here if you wish, or you can take your hands down a little lower and reach back to the back of your heels and stretching through the front of the body into camel, taking your head back a little. Stay here for 3 breaths and then release and come back. Nice. And then coming into a position, laying down on your front. We're going to open up a little bit more through the front of our body, opening up through our heart. We're going to inhale, having our hands underneath our shoulders, lifting our chest and lifting our gaze, coming up to Cobra. And then lowering that down. And from here, we're going to lift alternate leg and arm. So having your hands out in front and your legs behind, we're going to lift and lengthen left hand, right leg. And then let that go back down to the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen on the other side. We go from side to side. Just go side to side with your breath. Lift and lengthen, squeezing through the buttocks, toes pointing down towards the ground. Inhale as you lift and exhale as you drop it down. And from here, we're going to bend our knees and just move our feet from side to side, just letting our lower back just loosen through there. And then from here, we're going to take our left hand back, holding on to our left foot. We're going to lift and lengthen, feeling that stretch down the front of the left thigh and through the chest on the left side. And then release, take it to the other side. So bending the right foot, right leg And take the right hand back to the right foot. Lift and lengthen, through, feeling that stretch through the chest and through the right thigh. Keeping hold of the right foot, and then take your left hand around so you've got both feet. Excellent. And then lift and lengthen for 3 breaths. And you might feel your body rocking a little as you breathe in and out. And then release. And from here, we'll take it up into child's pose as we rinse out our spine. So bringing the buttocks back to the heels, knees apart, feet together, walking our hands forward. Let's take 3 breaths here, surrendering a little more into the ground on each exhalation. And then taking our legs straight out in front of us. So we're going to do a seated forward fold here. So we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, take our hands forward, grabbing onto our toes, ankles or shins, and taking your gaze towards your big toes. From here, we're going to stay here for 5 breaths, and on each exhalation, a little lower, surrendering into the pose, just feeling that stretch through the back of the legs and lower back. And 1 more breath here. I'm going to release your hands and take your legs out nice and wide. Come up onto your sit bones. So we're going to lift and lengthen, and then take our hands down to the center of our legs. Just taking 3 breaths here. Noticing a little stretch through the inner thighs as well as lower back and hamstrings. And then inhale, bring out our hands up and take them to the right leg. If you can, holding on to around the back of the toes, feeling that nice stretch through the back of the right leg on the hamstrings. Or if you need to, hold on to your ankle or shin. Taking 3 breaths here. And then after your 3rd breath, releasing, coming back to center again, lifting and lengthening through the body, and exhaling, folding towards the left side. That's it. Gazing towards the left toes. 3 breaths here. As you do deep exhalations, surrendering a little more into the pose. And then release. And from here, we're just going to go from side to side, stretching through the side of our body. And then bringing our feet back together, straight out in front of us again. And we're going to do some little stretches through the lower back. We're going to take our left foot and bend our left leg out the outside of the right leg. And we're going to hold the left knee with the right hand. Take our left hand behind us. And we're going to look over our left shoulder, twisting and bringing our left knee towards the right side. On each exhalation, just twisting a little more. Take 3 more breaths here. And then releasing the leg, and we'll take it to the other side. That's it. So bringing that right foot across and onto the ground, left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you. And as you exhale, looking over your right shoulder and drawing your right knee towards the left side. So you're feeling a nice twist through the body there. And we'll stay here for 3 breaths, twisting a little more on each exhalation. And then release. And from here, we're going to go into one last release of the lower back. We kind of come into pigeon pose. So we start off on all fours. And we're going to take the left knee forward and take the left foot across to the right side of the mat. And from here, raising the chest, you're up on your hands, and then slowly taking the right leg back a little until you feel a little bit of a stretch through the left glute area. So you can stay with your chest up as it is here, or you can come down a little lower and relax into a deeper stretch. Thinking about releasing and letting go, releasing through this left glute, taking 3 deep breaths. And then coming back up on your hands and bringing both knees back to all fours again. You might want to move your body around, just loosening that off a little. Then we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to take the right knee forward and then take the foot across towards the right side of the mat. You get up on your hands with the straight arms and then slowly sliding the left leg back a little. You can stay here if you want, or you can go down a little lower, coming down onto your forearms. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. And again, thinking about releasing, letting go of what doesn't serve you, and releasing through that right glute. Then coming back up onto your hands, raising your chest, sliding that right knee back so it's next to the left. And we're going to tuck our toes under and coming up into a downward dog to rinse out our back. Take a couple more breaths here. And then coming back down to the mat, come down to your back. We're going to go into a bridge position. Bring your heels close to your buttocks. You can have your palms facing flat on the mat, or you can have them underneath you and clasped. So you choose which one feels right for your shoulders. We're going to inhale, lift through our hips, and either press down with our hands or bring our hands underneath us in a clasp position and draw our shoulders together a little more. And then lift up as high as you can through the hips, squeezing the buttocks, and noticing that stretch through the front of the body, through the lower back and through the glutes. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then slowly lowering the body down to the mat, hugging your knees up to your chest, doing a couple of little circles. And then resting your body into Savasana. You might like to put a warm top on or throw a blanket over you. If you have an eye pillow, you can use that. If you'd like to put a bolster under your knees to support your lower back, just getting really comfortable. And getting ready for your Yoga Nidra. Taking 3 deep Releasing breaths, relaxing the body. Be aware of the sounds in the distance. Moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the sound. Be aware of your physical body laying in Savasana. Be aware of your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, your arms close to the body, fingers away from the floor, as comfortable as possible. Become aware of your natural breath, keeping it completely spontaneous. Repeat your intention for the practice 3 times with feeling. And rotating your consciousness around your body, starting with the right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, palm, back of your hand, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to the left side of your body. Your left thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to the back of your body. Heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, whole spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, center of your eyebrow, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Checking your awareness that you're still awake. Awakening the feeling of warmth. Your whole body is warm. Your arms are warm. Your legs are warm. Your whole body is warm. Now awaken the feeling of coolness in your body. Imagine the whole body is cool. Your arms are cool. Your legs are cool. Bring your awareness to the front of your closed eyes. Imagine the following objects as they are named: a setting sun, a rising moon, a red rose, a beautiful garden, clear blue sky, a rainbow, the smell of the ocean, the fragrance of the jasmine, new palm fronds, the smell of a candle as you blow it out, a relaxing bath. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your intention 3 times. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, aware of the room that you're in and your surrounds, the ground supporting your body, the walls, the ceiling, the windows, the sounds inside the room and outside the room. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl once. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Taking a few more breaths on your back. And when you're ready, stretching your arms above your head, stretching your legs, and slowly rolling to one side. And you can stay here and relax a little longer if you wish, or you can come to a comfortable seated position. Acknowledging the good that you've done in your practice today, and acknowledging in your life all the good things is the foundation for abundance. That's a quote from Eckhart Tolle. Notice your body and notice your mind, how you're feeling at the moment. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you as you move through the energy of the full moon this afternoon at 3:22. We're going to close our practice with an Om. You can join me if you wish, but you don't have to. I'm going to take a big breath in and a big breath out, releasing all that doesn't serve. Another breath in. Om. Thank you for being here today, for all that you do for yourself and each other, supporting our yoga practice. Bring our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts, and to our lips for kind words, and to our heart for a kind heart, and paying respect. Namaste. Nice. How are you feeling?
Very good, thank you, Jenny.
Good. Excellent. And how are you feeling, Julianne? I think you're still on mute. Julianne's still on mute. That's it.
There we go. Got it.
Oh, there you are. Sometimes it's tricky.
Hi, Julianne. How are you?
I love that Yoga Nidra. It's the best.
Oh,
it is, isn't it?
Oh, I'm glad that you like it. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's why I share it. Yeah, because I like it too, so that's why I share it. So it's nice.
Yeah, but it's not so good when you go to sleep in it.
Yeah, when you have to wake me up. I have to give you a chiming bell each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I think you do have a chiming bell, and I think I sometimes, get past that one as well. Because I go to sleep at night with guided meditations that often have a bell in them. They might not be sleeping ones, but I just like them. So.
Yes. Oh, right. Well, they might just be, you get that trigger then.
Yeah.
You think, it's time for sleep.